I've been living in Germany for over 10 years, and these are my best kept secrets across beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and finance. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am doing another one of my Germany tips video. I know you guys like this, and I know a lot of people are interested about Germany life, interested about living in Germany, visiting Germany, and I'm really excited to jump into this video and give you guys some of the best kept secrets. We'll say secrets for now that I have discovered from living here for over 10 years. So we're gonna start off with the category of lifestyle, health, finance. I feel like this is probably the most informational, the most helpful. I do also want to preface that these are just some things that have helped me navigate my life in Germany, some things that have made my life a lot easier, and they could potentially make your life easier. This is all based on my experiences. You do not have to take my advice. Please do your own research. So we're gonna start off with health insurance. When I first came to Germany, I had a private health insurance. If you want to live in Germany for a longer period of time, you do need to find a health insurance that you want to be associated with. And so for me, I've been living here for 10 years, and I think I've had this health insurance for about 8.5 years, and I'm not going back. The health insurance is called TK. It's Techniker Krankenkasse in German. I really like this health insurance because they have an app that is user-friendly. The app is also in English. When you want to submit receipts and documents, you can also submit that in English, and then they send you a letter also back in English. I really like them. It's very easy for me to use, very easy for me to get in contact with the health insurance via the app. It's just very easy, very simple to use. The next thing that I want to talk about is booking your doctor's appointment. So this is a trial in Germany. Like, finding a doctor in itself is a trial because they're always booked out. We do have free public health insurance. It's not technically free, but everybody's going to the doctor, and it's very hard to get an appointment. I have found using this site called Samedi.de. They are so helpful. It's just like a platform where it's in English. You can basically search for any type of doctor in your area and book an appointment via that online platform versus calling around all the doctors to see if they have an appointment. This is all online based, and you can kind of like do the work by yourself in English. I book my gynecologist, I book my house arts, that's like your primary doctor, via this site, and it's always worked out for me. And then what you can also do is, if you find a doctor that's in your area, you can just look on Google reviews to see if they speak your language, if they speak English, just to make this process a little bit easier for you when you first come here. Now I want to talk about banking. This is like my absolute favorite bank. I've had this bank since maybe like day 30 of moving to Germany, and I'm talking about N26, all unpaid, by the way. This whole video is unpaid, no affiliation to any of these companies, but N26 is probably the best banking. Like, I'm even trying to get my husband, he's German, onto N26. It's not just for expat. It is such an easy platform, easy interface. You have spaces, you can invite people, you have decorated cards that you can have, you have everything in English. They send you notifications when you have an upcoming payment. You can do investing on this, you can do rounding up so you save a portion of some of your income. It is just the best platform, and it's in English. I don't know if they have any other languages. I feel like they do. It is just the best banking platform, I think, in general, and again, not just for expats. I love N26, and I know there is some other banking on the rise, kind of like Revolut, I think, but I don't use Revolut. N26 is just my one-stop shop. I don't need anything else. Now talking about taxes in Germany. If you move here, you have to do your taxes. That is just a simple rule. Unfortunately for Americans, you have to do taxes in US and abroad. Doesn't matter if you are full-time in another country, you still need to declare what you earn in the US. For Germany, this platform, SteuerGo, is where I do my taxes. I love SteuerGo. It's easy. They have multiple languages that you can do your taxes in. They also have the German law listed next to the questions. So if you're confused about what something means, SteuerGo will actually have the whole description next to it in English of how this relates to the law and what it means and what you have to input. And then they even offer at the very end of it tips on how you can optimize your taxes to your advantage. I love SteuerGo. I think the service costs about like 29.95 euros. It is the perfect thing. That's all I've been using. I've used no other platform. I've not heard of any other platform, but SteuerGo is where I do my taxes, and I love using it. The next one is for my expats or visitors who have a pet. Germany is very different. You have to have pet liability for your animal, and so two separate things. So there's the health insurance and there's the liability. There is this app company called GetSafe, and that's the app that I use to insure my dog, and they're very affordable. Again, the interface is in English, and they have a lot of informative things that you can find on the site, and they have other insurances, so you can do health insurance, you can do the liability, all on GetSafe. They also do have some informational calls. They do like to call sometimes, which is also nice, and like explain things to you. So I really like that platform just so that I can fully understand like the liability for my animal and not be totally confused in that respect. So moving into another topic, which is a little bit serious still, and I would say this is under lifestyle. It is around learning German. That is a long process. I'm still trying to learn German a little bit slower now since moving to Berlin, but one tool that has actually helped me was using this vocabulary tool, which is called Vocabulary. And on top of, you know, trying to take some classes, I feel like this was a really good way to bump up my vocab and learn. Definitely check out this app. You can find this on the App Store. It's called Vocabulary. Now let's get into the fun things, the beauty, the fashion. Let's get into it. Where I like to shop, I'm just gonna list these off. I feel like this is also something, you know, a little bit trivial. Once you get past all of like the bureaucracy of Germany, you want to get back into normal life, and that could be, you know, treating yourself to some nice clothes, some nice things, buying makeup if that's what you're into, jewelry, etc. So I love to shop at this brand called Zalando. It is kind of like Amazon but for fashion. They sell a lot of different brands and you can purchase a lot of different things. You can also find beauty, shoes, everything on there, and they have a lot of sales also running. So I love Zalando. I love Zalando down. That is my site. Like one of the first, maybe in the first 2 sites that I go to when I want to top up on something, some type of clothing item. Zalando is where it's at, and I think they are based in Europe as well. So if you're going anywhere outside of Germany, you can also shop at Zalando. I got this top from Zalando. It's just one of my favorite places to shop. The next place is Naked Fashion. Love this place. They have all of the most like on-trend items. They're also running a lot of sales, so you can find things for a good price. When it comes to beauty and fragrance, I like to shop at Notino. I think you can get a lot of designer fragrances and niche fragrances on a good discount. Think like a discounter site. That's what Notino is. I love that site. You can also get lotions, body washes, which you can't get in Germany on Notino. So I really love that site, as well as Beauty Welt. That is another place that you can get like discount fragrances. When it comes to, you know, you want like really niche, I would suggest then Bräuninger. This site has some of the best niche, and if you like consistently buy, you can build up points and you can build up status, and then you can get periodic discounts on fragrances. If you also want like higher end clothing, Bräuninger is also the place that you want to go. I almost forgot, when it comes to shoes specifically, there is this site called 𝗙𝗀𝘀 that I love shopping at. You can find some really good gems there. I think I also got my Coach wallet from this site. They don't even just have shoes, they have a wide variety, but for shoes specifically, you can get some really good shoes on a good deal at this site. When it comes to makeup, I'm very picky. I don't necessarily like to go to the drugstores just because they don't have a lot of shade range, but I'm experiencing like a shift of sentiment slightly, just because I'm finding some really affordable lip glosses and sprays, like makeup priming sprays at the drugstore. So the one that I would recommend, this is not drugstore, this is online, this is Danessa Myricks. She has a very, I think, inclusive range, and I love to shop with her. I love to buy her things. I only use her makeup, honestly, like when it comes to foundation and all of that. And then when it comes to drugstore, I would definitely recommend, you know, DM, Rossmann. I think I prefer Rossmann. I'm not sure why. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Do you want any more Germany tips? I'm not sure the crowd that I have, if I have a lot of people that want to come to Germany, want to visit Germany, or expats. Let me know. I can make more of these videos. But thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one.